Good afternoon. Thank you for making the time to be with us here this afternoon. My name is Ben Mwasaga, and I'm with the Japan External Trade Organization, or JETRO. We are a Japanese government trade and investment promotion agency, and our core mandate is to help Japanese companies find opportunities and partners wherever we have a presence, or wherever those opportunities and partners are available or can be found. The JETRO Nairobi office is one of 9 on the continent and one of 70 outside of Japan, where we have 50 offices. With me are 4 startups through whom we would like to showcase some of the innovations developed in Japan that seek to address social challenges across the world and which would have application in this part of the world. I would like to welcome P Lab, Jim. Do Change, SORA, and TYPICA. This was not intended. Ladies always first. It was not intended. Anyways, yes, I would like the 4 of you to just do a brief introduction. Just say your name and what you do.
Thank you. My name is Jim from PO Lab. We make leather from leftover pineapple leaves. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Akihiro Kishimoto. I'm Do Change of CEO. So I have a patent about copper wire. So after, explain to you. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Masaki Umeda, Director and Vice CEO from SORA Technology Japan. We are providing drone and AI-based environmental monitoring services, one for public health sector and another for agricultural sector. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Shizuka from TYPICA. We operate an online platform for coffee trade. Thank you.
So following those introductions, I would like for each of the 4 to give a bit more detail into the challenges, the specific challenge that they're trying to solve. I would like to request that the audience note down any questions or comments, and then we will take these after all the 4 have done their presentations. The pitch session will be followed by an interactive panel titled Spark Japan, Igniting Startup Innovation, where the panel will further enlighten us on their individual innovations. Jim, yep. You may go ahead.
Okay, sure. My slides are ready? Great, thank you. Hey guys, so my name is Jim from PO Lab. Leather is everywhere, from the wallets that you carry, the purse you have, the shoes you're wearing, or even the sofa you're sitting on. But it's the most damaging material in the environment. Over 80 billion gallons of water are consumed during the production of leather. But 80% of that animal hide is actually wasted because of mosquito bites, scratches, or whatever reason. People working at the tannery are exposed to chemicals and have additional risk in cancer. This is where we come in. Our mission is to upcycle food loss. So this is the pineapple leaves that we use for our raw material. We also want to prevent animal cruelty, reduce carbon emission, and empower individuals. Our vision is to achieve 1% of the existing leather market by 2030, and our missions are upcycle food loss, prevent animal cruelty, reduce carbon footprint. And these are the industrial issues. Our business models are B2B, where we take the leftover raw materials and we bring that to our manufacturing facilities and make that into leather. We also make leather merchandise for brands and corporates. So if you're looking for gift, souvenirs, that's where we come in. the market that we're going after is a big one of over $700 billion, and we do have first mover advantage in Asia. That's why we're here in Kenya and East Africa to see what else we can do to take that leading position. In terms of the difference, we are much lighter compared to animal leather. We have a high durability, waterproof, scratch resistance. With we maintain the original texture with a lot less environmental burden. These are some of our products that we have done for our B2B customers. Look at this beautiful school bag from Japan, where all the school kids have to carry. We also make aprons, golf gloves, furniture. The application for leather, sky's the limit on that. These are some of the impacts that we have done. Over 12,000 meters of pineapple leather we have already manufactured. That means almost 2,000 kgs of pineapple leaves that we picked up and over 1,000 tons of CO2 emissions that we have reduced. We are a team of eight spread across Japan is our headquarters. We have an office in Thailand and US, and now we're looking at Europe and Africa as our next place of destination. So join us on our mission for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next, I'd like to call on Do Change.
Hi, my name is Akihiro Kishimoto. I am CEO of Do Change. So please take a next slide. Okay. Did you know that countries such as Ghana receive over 150,000 tons of e-waste a year? So this is the problem. I was in Ghana, so burning e-waste is a toxic gas for health problems workers and toxic for the environment in solution in the social. And so our social solution, so boiling using waste oil instead of burning. So now is small scale and large scale in the future capacity. And we sell recycling copper wire to Japanese company. So roadmap, today now, I already tried in Ghana. So 3 months later, expansion to Kenya. So testing and researching. And 6 months later, start of the export of copper wire to Japanese company or other companies. 1 year later, we try 3 tons of the export. So it's our purpose. So our business model, so picker selling collector. We want to collaboration to do change and collector. So it's a highest price of copper wire can sell Japanese company or other countries. So meet our team. I'm CEO and Shinchiro Kawauchi, business manager. Hiroshi Okano, he has a patent, technical advisor, and Chiyo Shimojima shares a back office. So green upcycling of e-waste, if we can do it, we can change the future. Thank you, Asante Sana.
Thank you, Kishimoto-san. Next, I'd like to call on Umeda-san from SORA.
All right, as mentioned, we are providing drone and AI-based environmental monitoring services. In particular, our specialty is more on this kind of fixed-wing drone, which can fly over 100 kilometers, over 400 hectares, just by one flight, just by one touch. And at the bottom of drones, we have several sensors and cameras attached. And by analyzing the data that we collected from drone flights, we can provide several parameters that will be very important for agricultural or public health sectors. So our specialty can be summarized, as mentioned, agricultural productivity improvements and climate health challenges. If you are interested in these two sectors, please feel free to let me know, approach to me later. So the solution that we are providing for agricultural sector in particular is mainly for land surveying platform. So we can integrate not only for drone surveying data, but also historical big data of climate and vegetation health trend, as well as meteorological, hydrological modeling. We can provide some optimal plantation. We can provide some solutions for optimal plantation development and operations. So firstly, our drones, fixed-wing drones, are coming in to do very detailed drone surveying, and then based on the data that we collected, we can provide some suggestion on the optimal irrigation farming practices. For example, this is what we have been providing actually as for profit, as for paddy rice fields. So our drones are targeting on very large paddy rice field in Ghana, and we firstly make 3D printed, 3D survey map. And based on the data that we analyzed, we are providing some data suggestion that are related to waterlogging risk prediction or some optimal leveling countermeasures so that they can do great farming practice in Ghana. And not only for surveying or suggestion, we can provide a comprehensive package in collaboration with Ebara Pumps, which is one of the largest pumping provider in Kenya as well. And they are providing some high-quality irrigation equipment. And under the partnership with Ebara, we can provide the whole package from AI-driven drone surveying by ourselves to irrigation equipment leasing. And leveraging these kind of knowledges that we accumulated for agricultural sector, we also have been providing some services for public health surveillance. For example, we are under operational research project in collaboration with Nairobi City County government to map out hotspots of waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid fever, or even diarrhea. And this data has been sold to several donors or some private companies. And also, in particular, we are in a great partnership with Gavi, which is Vaccine Alliance. And we are going to collaborate with them to optimize some vaccine supply chain. Not only for prediction, we can contribute for intervention as well. And we are doing some drone and AI-based larval habitat monitoring against malaria or other vector-borne diseases so that the government can optimize some vector control countermeasures on the ground as well. Yeah, that's all from my side. If you are interested in, please feel free to contact us via this QR code. Thank you.
Thank you, Umeda-san. Next, I would like for Funayama-san from TYPICA to also do her presentation.
Is it okay if I stay here? Okay, hello Nairobi. Let me introduce my company, TYPICA. So in a nutshell, we operate a global online platform dedicated to the direct trade of coffee green beans. So, yeah. Before diving into the detail of our business, I'm Shizuka. I'm an executive officer in charge of social impact. So before joining TYPICA, I used to work in international cooperation, and I gained extensive experience across Africa. So I'm very happy to be back on the continent this week. So let me give you some background of our business. So as you may know, coffee is the second most traded commodity only after oil. And an impressive 67% of the world coffee is grown by small to mid-sized farmers. And large-scale and small-scale farms differ in many ways. In general, small-scale farms produce higher quality beans using more environmentally friendly production method. However, small-scale farms, coffee farmers often face poverty due to these systemic issues in the traditional coffee market. So it's reported that around 44% of these farmers live below the poverty line. And TYPICA aims to address this issue by ensuring small-scale coffee farmers receive a fair share of the value they create. And our solution is direct trade. Yep. So we connect producers and buyers worldwide through our online platform. So by offering a comprehensive solution for international trade, we simplify coffee transactions by reducing intermediaries. And our business has grown rapidly with producers from 40 countries now on board, including Kenya, of course. And here are some indicators of achievement. For instance, we've secured over 3 billion yen from investors. We've also received numerous awards and recognitions. In fact, we were featured in official publications by the Japanese government. Why does the government support us so much? I believe it's because of an unconventional business model, which directly addresses social challenges. So we collect demand data from the buyers, and we collect ESG-related data from producers. In this way, we provide support and digital solutions to address the needs of both sides. But collecting data and sharing of information is just the first step. We aim to maximize positive social impact through dedicated social initiatives as well. So this is the initiatives we have at the moment. And TYPICA integrates these initiatives with our efforts to enhance traceability and reduce carbon footprints. Improving transparency contributes to the value addition of coffee beans. So we are committed to shaping a sustainable coffee ecosystem through direct trade. Yeah. So in this endeavor, empowering coffee farmers as business entities is the key. So what unites us as a team is a shared passion for passing on delicious coffee to the future. So we look forward to collaborating with local players to co-create a sustainable future for coffee. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Funayama-san. Now I would like to open the session to questions from the audience. You may address the presenters directly. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, everybody from the panel, for peel, right? Sorry, I just have a question about your product. I'm very excited about it because I actually read about it. I didn't know the name of the brand, and I was talking to a friend about it, telling her, imagine that they're using now, pineapple skin to do bags. So I just wanted to know what gave you that idea, and are there any other, fruits or vegetables that you could achieve the same thing with? And I would love to touch the bag.
Yep.
And also, can we buy it, or is it just for school, for students? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, you can buy it, and we do have a booth over there at JETRO Pavilion. So please stop by. You can touch it, smell it. Don't eat it, not recommended. So what gave me the idea was that this is not our first venture on sustainability. Our first one was actually making craft beer from leftover bread in Japan. And so, we were always into upcycling food waste. And so that was really the inspiration. And we started with actually apple peels, but it didn't have any fiber, so it didn't have any performance or durability that the customers are looking for. And therefore, we kind of have to pivot to other materials. And we were looking around in Southeast Asia and say, what else is out there that is a waste. Farmers are burning them, and where we can use them as a raw material for our leather. And so we have identified pineapple leaf is one of them. Banana stems is another one. These are all the materials with a huge amount of fiber inside if you have the right machineries to take them out. And at the same time, we tell the farmers, our biggest value proposition is we turn your trash to cash. And therefore, it's a win-win for everyone. It's win for the farmer, it's a win for the environment, and it's win for us, right? And then as a consumer, you have a choice besides animal leather. Now you have a plant-based leather here. So, yeah, I mean, we can chat more, but I'm gonna pause. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I'll take one or two more questions. Anyone else?
Yes. Hi, Jim. I actually love what you do. So my name is Chine, and I just wanted to know what are some of the challenges that you face when making leather from pineapple peels?
It's a balance between durability and the amount of biomass we add in there, right? So there are a lot of brands that are looking for more than 50%, say, of biomass material into the leather, but at the same time, they are asking for high performance, high durability on the leather, and really low cost, right? So you really have to strike the balance. What's most important for you? Is it the price? Is it the durability, or is it the amount of biomass in there? So that's why we always have this conversation with our customers, and we don't have any inventory in the warehouse because this is the kind of conversation that we want to go through with our customers, understanding their needs, their requirements, the applications that they're going to make, because the specs for furniture versus for shoes or even for car interiors are all very different, right? Car interiors has a very high requirements. They need to be fireproof to the max. They have certain thickness that they want to achieve. So we go through this process, and those are the challenges that we face. But it's about education. It's about communication, right, with your end users. What are you trying to achieve? And then we go through that journey with them, and I think that's kind of something we're trying to build. Yeah. Thank you.
If you don't mind, I have a question for SORA, may I?
Yes, go ahead. I'll make that the last question, though.
Okay. Does anyone else? Does anyone have a question? Okay, I'll go. So this question is for SORA. I thought that your drone technology was very interesting. Basically, they're super drones. You should have said what don't they do? So maybe you explained it, but what is the actual technology that they're using to survey the land? Meaning, is it AI after the images are taken, or is it infrared light? Is it sonar? How are you retrieving this information?
All right. Thank you very much for your question. And generally speaking, in summary, if I answer your question correctly, it's combination. So of course, our specialty is more on the imagery analysis AI. So after collecting some data from drones, like including some images, infrared data, blah blah blah, then we will, for example, regarding the lava habitat monitoring that I explained last week, our imagery analysis AI can come in to analyze some water characteristic, and then based on the data, based on the parameters that we analyze from that AI, we can classify the risk to be breeding sites. So, but regarding the other solution that I explained, like water logging risk prediction, flood simulation, etc., it's very difficult to deal with just only by imagery analysis AI. We need to integrate some hydrological modeling. We need to integrate some on-ground data as well. So yeah, it's still a combination, and that is also one of the advantages of a company. It's very interdisciplinary team. There are some people from aerodynamics. There are some people from agriculture, AI, and I'm also from hydrological modeling. So yeah, that is one of the great points from our company. Yeah, that I explained. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I'll just like to move this to the next segment, which is, we'll have a brief panel where I'd like the presenters to just expound a bit more and maybe just share some of the challenges or some of the areas where they see potential for collaboration. I would like to start with Funayama-san. In what areas do you see potential for collaboration between Japanese and Kenyan startups in the future? Perhaps you could put into consideration solutions targeting either side, Kenya or Japan. I know in Japan there is a unique challenge of the aging population and perhaps of course the emergence of AI as well. How do you see what are some of the areas that you see as potential for collaboration between Japan and Africa?
Thank you. So as our platform is a global service, we operate in very different countries. And at the moment, we don't have any presence in the coffee producing countries. So we only have offices in the consuming countries. So our plan is to have more presence in the producing countries. In that sense, I think we need to partner with the local entities, including local startups, so that we can get to know the market conditions and anything that we should know to localize our service and fit the market. So in that sense, we definitely need to work with the Kenyan startups. And in this one, so it's the localization. And in that process, I think we'll be outsourcing some of the software development or other kind of work concerning the localization process. So that's the specific areas I foresee collaboration with Kenyan startups.
Thank you, Funayama-san. I'd like Kishimoto-san also perhaps to, would you like to address that as well? Some of the areas where you see potential for collaboration between Japan and Africa. Yes.
So, Africa and Kenya, Japanese and Kenya. So, I think area of the recycling and agriculture. So this is especially we can make wheats, Kenyan and Japanese or African and Japanese. So all countries have some problems. Japanese company have a patent, so we can use this patent or technology for solve the problem in their countries. So I want to chance Japanese company come to Africa. So in the future.
Thank you very much. Maybe just another question that was already asked of Jim. I'd like Umeda-san to touch on this. Can you share a specific example of a significant challenge that you faced or a significant challenge that you're trying to overcome using your technology?
All right. Our company was founded in 2020 amid COVID-19. And I presented our fixed-wing drone at the first slide. And actually speaking, we started our company to provide last-mile delivery of medical supplies to deliver some vaccines, for example. It's very famous in Africa because, especially in the COVID-19, because, they need to deliver some, emergency vaccines to rural, inaccessible areas. So we thought that our solution can contribute strongly to deal with those challenges. But actually speaking, it was very difficult to deal with product market fits. So actually speaking, I couldn't come to Africa until 2022. And the first country that I went was Sierra Leone. This is because in Sierra Leone, the president was leading the new initiative about medical drone-based medical supplies. But when I went there, I found that it's very difficult from the various perspectives, including financial capability and understanding from the local ministries and some regulation aspects. So that's why I need to change locally our solution from last mile delivery to lava habitat monitoring against malaria, which is our flagship services so far. So in summary, what I'm thinking that Japanese companies need to overcome based on our experiences is how to collaborate with local partner before designing, sophisticating the solution itself. And also, it's very important for Japanese companies to come to Africa. I'm not sure whether you know how far Japan is from Kenya. It's around 20 hours flight, even without transit time. So sometimes I was, actually I need to return back to Japan this night, and I don't want to take the flight, such kind of long, flights. But that is very difficult problem, actually speaking, actual problem. But there are lots of opportunities that Japanese solutions can contribute strongly to the social problems in Africa. So yeah, if you have some interest about innovation led by Japanese companies, then I really want to African companies or institutions to approach to Japanese institution, while Japanese needs to come to Africa. That is, I'm keeping saying so. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Umeda-san. Just interesting that you've touched on something I was going to bring up also. Perhaps some perspective of Japanese startups' perspective of opportunities in Africa. Are they open to collaborations or just exploring what opportunities are available in this part of the world? I think one thing that stands out is the level of innovation that's available in Japan, and perhaps that could be very beneficial to other parts of the world. I'd like Jim to just speak up a bit on that.
I'm not sure if I'm qualified to answer that. Can I defer that to my colleagues? They're frequent travelers to Africa, and this is, maybe they'll be better.
All right, sure. Funayama-san, would you like to try? Would you like to take that?
Sorry, I didn't really get your question.
No, just picking up on where Umeda-san left off about I'd like to get your perspective on how Japanese startups, the perspective of Japanese startups of the African market in terms of opportunities. Yes, it's just interesting, some of the solutions that you guys have, and perhaps then what is the mindset of perhaps other companies back home in Japan?
All right, thank you. So, yeah, as he just mentioned, I think many of the Japanese startups are not yet aware of the market demand or the opportunities or what they would like to have in Africa. So it's very important to start the communication between Japanese companies and Kenyan companies. I think that's the first step. And I think I'm aware that in Kenya there's quite a few of Japanese startups, and those are run by people who used to live and work in Africa, like JICA volunteers. So they got to have a first-hand experience in Africa, live here and know the demands and know the people, know how people work here. So those kind of experience, that's the key motivators for them to actually starting business in Africa. So that's the real starting point. So yeah, I think JETRO has a very big part in promoting this kind of communication between Japanese and Kenyan startups.
Thank you very much.
I just want to add one thing. Is it's just from my experience this week here in Kenya. I mean, the amount of support and resources that we got from JETRO is incredible, and I think Japanese startups are in a very good position to expand their market footprint out here because we have such great resources on the ground to support us. And I think if we just come here with an open mind, I think, you never know who, you expect the unexpected. That's what I would say.
Thank you very much for that. It's encouraging to hear that. I believe in the last several years, a JETRO report has identified Kenya as one of the places that have generated interest as a destination for investment by Japanese companies. And it's encouraging that you'd say that as long as you approach this with an open mind, then there definitely is quite a few opportunities available. And maybe just for the audience, just some of the programs that JETRO has been running. Ideally, in a nutshell, JETRO's work is to promote, or rather help Japanese companies find opportunities and partners here. So we're working just to build up on that. I think with those many remarks, I would like to bring the session to a close, unless there is any feedback or question from the audience. Just maybe I'll take one or two more. Yes?
Sorry to pester you with the questions. First, again, thank you to the panel. I've never seen Japanese startups. I mean, I'm based in Europe and the US, and we don't get to know, we see your Chinese counterparts, but definitely not the Japanese. And so perhaps that, I'm not sure, and perhaps this is a question for you since you represent JETRO. Is JETRO also active in other continents, in Europe, in Latin America? So that would be number one. And so, and also I've got an observation about the big, and I think this was Masaki who mentioned it, that there is a huge cultural gap between Japan and African countries, which within Africa, North Africa is obviously different from East Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, and so on. And so I presume you don't approach the continent with a single sort of a mindset. And that would be a question for you.
Good. Interesting that you ask that. Actually, JETRO has quite a network of offices. Again, within Japan only, we've got an office in each of the 47 prefectures. And outside of Japan, we have more than 70 offices. We've got offices, I believe, on every continent. In the US, I believe we have an office in Chicago, and I know we have one in California. I'm not sure which specific city. And of course, in Latin America as well. So ideally, maybe as to the second part of your question, ideally, there are some programs that are run uniformly across, although of course, definitely there's some that would be targeted to the specific needs of each country. Maybe just to be specific, within Africa, we've got 9 offices. So the 70 offices outside of Japan, 9 of them are in Africa, and strategically east, north, west, and south. So in East Africa, we've got Nairobi and Addis. And in North Africa, we've got Rabat and Cairo. And in the west, we've got Abidjan, Accra, and Lagos. And in the south, we've got Joburg and Maputo. So yes, there's some programs that ideally would be common to each of these regions. But then, of course, each office has a unique perspective of what's going on there. So then they would have tailored solutions to that particular region. I don't know, I hope that answers your question. Actually, we could pick up the conversation and I could link you up with my colleagues on that side. Actually, interestingly, we've got a colleague here from our Cairo office. Yes. Another question?
Hi, I'm Enoch from Freud Energy. We have an aircon innovation that we have done with my colleague. My question is, we are a startup and we are cautious about the quality of the air condition. And we feel Japan has good technology and it produces quality items. Is there a way we can be assisted? Because we have a prototype and we want to go commercial. So we really want to try Japan because we are sure about the quality. If there's any help, we'll appreciate.
Thank you, Enoch. Maybe just to address that, it would be, I think a great place to start would be just to have a conversation so we can best understand what exactly you're trying to do. And then that would also help us connect you with the right person, right? So perhaps what we could do after this, you could please visit our stand and then we can have a bit of a sit down and explore in and get a bit more detail.
Great. Please let me add one comment. So I think that it's a kind of complementary relationship, but there are some Japanese companies expecting to expand into African markets using air conditioner. So, but they have very great high quality aircon, but their challenges so far is how to localize that air conditioners into local, business markets. And I think that is also the case for you. And if you are planning to expand into Japan, there are very strong, large difference about commercial, different, kind of characteristic and so on. But if you can share very great business models, of course, we can see a great demand about, high quality air conditioners. And also because of climate change, such kind of warmings are very, very, severe. Even in Tokyo, it's around 40 Celsius degree in summer season. So if you can share very great vision, not only for technical quality, I suggest you to consider about business models. If you can make a great business models in Japan, then I think that it's open. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Umeda-san. Anyone else? Great. Again, I'd like to thank you all for your time to join us here this afternoon and for your feedback and your questions. I'd like to bring this to a close. We will be back here again tomorrow from around half noon, but that one will be a bit more specific. It will be specific to the agriculture, agri-tech. We'll have definitely a few more insights to share. Again, thank you all so very much. See you again around. You're very welcome to visit the JETRO stand. Whatever other questions you may have, we will be very happy to take those on. Thank you very much.